Hi, it's Carl with Poly by Design and the FICA podcast. I'm here in Nu'uli in American Samoa at Jade Cafe or Jade Restaurant with Tiumalualii Dr. Mary Lauagaia Misi Taufete'e. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Morning, Carl.
So she has a background in leadership, and it's something that we really wanted to share with everybody because we believe it's a story that needs to be told. So give us a little bit of your professional background and maybe some of your education that you've had as you've gone through your career.
Appreciate this opportunity. I like to, foremost, I like to encourage the young folks, the Samoan communities, to get engaged and involved in what's going on around the world, perhaps building themselves up to the better lives. I've just recently received my doctoral degree in leadership, and this is something that I've always wanted to become a leader someday, that I'd like to be. In my background, I was a former member of the American Samoa legislature. At the time, I was the youngest female at the American Samoa legislature. And I've been there for 10 years. And I've always wanted to become a public figure. I've always wanted to serve my people. And I served my district for 10 years, and which is something that I have achieved. One of my goals is to become a representative. And of course, the ladder moves up to the upper level. And we're still moving and working on that. But at the time being, I've just received my doctoral degree in leadership. And I've always wanted to become a leader. As I mentioned that earlier. Right now, I'm serving as the appointee, a director, executive director for the Arts Council of American Samoa. It's another achievement that I've achieved, that I'm still in the leadership role, that I'm able to lead an agency or a department of the government of American Samoa. And I'm sure it's a dream. It's something that we've all wanted to achieve someday. And these are some of the goals that I wanted to achieve, and I have reached the goal that I've set for the time being. And I still wanted to move up. It's something that we all wanted to get yourself better, in some way, if not leadership, something else. You can become anything you want to be if you put your heart there and your mind and soul that you want it, you get it. So to our young folks, this is something that if you want it, put your heart there and your mind and soul to it, and you will really get that. So I think that's what it gets me going. If you want it, go get it. So
usually when people think about a doctorate, they're thinking, an MD or a psychiatrist or those kind of things. You have a doctorate in leadership. Was that something that you became aware of, that you could become a doctor in that, or how did you end up as an MD in leadership?
I've always wanted to be a lawyer, but plan changed in due time. Now that I'm not a lawyer, but now I've changed. I've become a doctoral student with an educational background. I wanted to help the students, the young folks. The way I look at it, where I'm at right now as a director of the Arts Council, I'm a musician myself. It's something that I wanted to get that going because I like to promote that, the cultural aspect in the Samoan way of doing things. Being a doctoral, having a doctoral degree, it's something that I've always wanted to be. Like I said, not a lawyer now, but I've achieved another goal in getting my PhD. So it's anything that, if you put your heart to it, if it's not the other, if it's not the other way, it's the other way that you can get it. So.
So one of her talents is she plays the piano. So the next interview we do with Dr. Taufete'e, maybe we'll get to see your skill on the piano. So is there any advice or before we go, anything that you can speak to the younger generation if they wanted to do something or go on a journey similar to yours or maybe even exactly like yours? What advice would you give them?
What I would advise to the young folks is never give up. Never give up. It's been a challenge for me. As I work my way up, my background is in pre-law, and like I said, I wanted to be a lawyer. I've worked at the U.S. Congress under our congressman, Falo Mavaenga, and I like to stay on that course. So I haven't given up my dream yet, even though I've lost my not being a lawyer, but I've achieved another goal. So keep in mind, never give up. Don't ever think twice that you cannot do it. If you would stay away from negative thinking, don't ever have that negative thinking or even a vocabulary of negative thinking, you would not achieve that. But just put in positive, stay positive, and think that you can do it. Just tell yourself, I can do it. If I can do it, you can do it.
Words of wisdom from the good Dr. Taufete'e, who was a good sport with us today because she did not know she was going to get interviewed, and she agreed last second to step into the room here and give us some words of advice. So thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
And that's our Positive Pacific Islander role model today.